Good morning. I'm Earth Dr. Reese Halter, and you're listening to Earthcast, SOS.com. From London to Melbourne and Seattle to Philadelphia, edible urban forests are providing food and hope, a brighter tomorrow for children of Earth. Did you know there are over 7,500 kinds of apples that grow all over the globe? Apple skin is very high in fiber, which helps prevent colon cancer. The United Nations estimates 1/4 of all agricultural land is seriously degraded, so people have begun cultivating urban landscapes. 800 million people are now practicing urban agriculture. 49 million Americans experience food insecurity, and 23 million Americans live in food deserts with little fresh produce grown on public lands. To fight this insecurity, Americans in lower socioeconomic areas are now taking food production into their own hands with some staggering results. Approximately 16 million Americans grow vegetables in New York City, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Madison, Santa Monica, and many other cities and towns that now allow urban farming on both private and public spaces. Growing food in cities is an important measure to stabilize global food security. It's helping to reconnect city dwellers with the land, native bees, and the natural water cycle. It is truly heartening to see plentiful bounty now growing on once abandoned homes, now lots, in Cleveland and Detroit. It's a pleasure to report on so many touching community stories that are all interconnected because they share the goal of producing food, creating shade, and providing hands-on educational programs, including urban beekeeping. They are creating a special spot filled with nature within their neighborhoods, which makes them all very proud. Edible food forests are based on the principles of permaculture, a perennial self-sustaining landscape. This system harvests rainwater and stores it in cisterns. It builds soil rich with fauna, flora, bacteria, fungus, and protozoa. It uses nitrogen-fixing trees and plants because healthy soils with organic material rich in carbon is central to future-proofing all cities. Globally, my colleagues are working night and day to increase all cultivated soils by adding organic matter. An increase of just 1.6% of organic matter around the globe would drop carbon dioxide levels from the current level of 402 parts per million down to 300 parts per million. Huge! In 1982, a not-for-profit named Ceres began to rehabilitate 10 acres of decommissioned landfill along the Mary Creek in East Brunswick, Melbourne, Australia. Today, it's an award-winning center that grows plums, apples, peaches, and a wide variety of vegetables and herbs. They keep a honeybee hive, and over 1 million school children have learned with a hands-on approach about permaculture, edible trees, gardens, and the necessity of water conservation. The most touching of all the stories is South Philadelphia's Mercy Edible Park. This little community jewel harvests rainwater, practices composting that builds and enriches soil, while growing edible tree bounty along with a scrumptious understory of asparagus. It's so encouraging to see communities bond, working hand in hand for the betterment of everyone. It reminds me of a colony of honeybees that all work toward the common good. This is a terrific global story offering a promise of a better future for humankind. Please support the okraproject.org because they're making Earthcast SOS possible. I'm Earth Doctor Reese Halter, reminding you to protect our planet.